Yeah, boy!
Hello, everybody. Welcome to my channel, and thank you for joining. Now, in today's episode, we're going to discuss a young man that's been injured a lot lately, and that's Jordan Ridley. And in his peak, he can go nuts. So we're going to find out more information about Jordan Ridley and what he can offer us. However, we're also going to give you a bonus, okay? You have a bonus to just come down. You're going to have also a Brett Daniels review in the same time because his review is going to be very quick. So I'm going to review him because I've had a few requests for him. I don't want to do a full video on Brett Daniels because it's going to be very similar to a Shy Bolton, okay? So if you've watched I need you to watch Shy Bolton before you watch the Brett Daniels, and you'll understand what I'm talking about. So the Brett Daniels review is going to be very short. Now, before we even go to either of those, I need to share something with you. Now, we are 44 days out, and we already have 740 members in our Scodfather group. That's huge, okay? Now, we want some more, okay? So, try to, if you can, get into this group, Scodfather group. It's going to be huge, okay? Now, we have another group I want you to get into, and that's going to be this one, okay? Let me go down here somewhere, okay? It's called the Magic Number, okay? Now, I need you in here as well. Now, this is going to be a tournament. It's free to enter, and what's going to happen here is I'm going to give a magic number every week. I'm going to be very generous, okay? So don't panic, okay? If I say this week's magic number is 1600, all you got to do is pass 1600, okay? Now, if you say, for example, score 1599 and just miss out on that 1600, and then you get eliminated, okay? That's how it's going to work. And the last man standing in this tournament is gonna be very happy, man. Okay, he's gonna win a trophy. I'm gonna buy from Kmart. Just come down. Now, as you can see here, 20 out of 20 leagues are full. I've got no more leagues left. Okay, so I can't join any leagues. However, okay, now what I've done. Okay, now let me show you something. As you can see, 20 out of 20. Most of them are booked. Okay, now Scodfather Cup 6. That's got nine teams in there. Okay. Let me show you these teams. Now, some of the teams in here, okay, we got Jovan, the 2024 champion, okay, he's in here. We got the Spuds, okay, Abs Magic is in here, all the Spuds are here too. Now, we got JP, he's the 2022 champion, okay. The Rain Man is here, okay. Now, if you know him from Twitter, we've got the Rain Man, okay. Now, we've also got who else is here? We've got Jimmy in here. Now, Jimmy, the year I came fourth, he came fifth. Okay, now he's in here too. Now, this is a star-studded lineup, okay? Unfortunately, we already have 9 spots taken. We only got 11 spots available. The rest are my friends, okay? Now, 11 spots. This will be open on Twitter. Okay, I'm going to open this on Twitter on Thursday, okay? So, Thursday, stay tuned. This is the big one. You don't want to miss this. Only 11 can get in, and I'm going to push this and reveal the code, okay? So you're going to see it. Now, let's move over to Scodfather Cup 7. Now, before I move to 7, all right, I gave out 3 digits for one of these ones. I think it was number 3 or number 2. When I gave out the 3 digits, 20 smart people, okay, very, very smarter than me, okay, they cracked the code, okay, they actually got in, so I can't give out the other 3 digits because it's already full. Now, this was the code I gave you, the 982. Now, all they did was keep pressing 001, 002, etc. up to 299, and they got in, okay, so they were very smart, okay, they were outsmarting me, okay, my Spuds, they couldn't work this out. However, to reward you guys today, okay, now before I do reward you, I'm going to show you something, okay, now, as you can see, we've got up to Scodfather 10 available, so I've got these cups available. I can fit in another 19, so that's 57 there, okay, and there's not much room, okay. Now, I've got these 2 available. They're going to open up soon. That's on Thursday. This one's going to open up Scodfather Cup 7. I'm going to open this up now. Okay, now get ready. Okay, go to your leagues and add join league. I'm waiting. Okay, go to join league right now. Just come down. I'll wait. Okay, just come down. Now go to join league. Okay, I'm waiting for you still. Go to your leagues. Okay, now I'm still waiting. Okay, now I think you should be there by now. Now I'm going to open this up. Okay, and you're going to see the code, the whole code, and just all you got to do is copy it. Okay, copy, and then paste it. Okay, now here it comes. Are you ready? Okay, Scodfather Cup 7, opening up and revealing now. Okay, hopefully you've got in. Okay, I'm trying my best to fit you all in. Okay, now let's move on. Now, I put up a tweet last night. Now, you would notice that there's been a lot of injuries. So I've put up a tweet, and it says here, latest images have emerged of my spuds in the medical rooms. Now, they're all getting injured, my spuds. So you can see a few of my spuds are injured, but they're gonna fight back. They're gonna come back strong. So they're a little bit sore right now. So we're gonna take it easy at training for the time being. Now, first up, we're gonna talk about Brett Daniels. Okay, now. There's a lot of interest in him because of this huge score of 196, okay? And then there's a couple of big scores around here. He can go nuts. Now, the problem I seen with Brett Daniels, I looked at him very close because I was thinking about what's all the fuss about, okay? Maybe he's this good, okay? Now, there were talks that maybe he's playing a bit of midfield time. That's why he's scoring so much. So I had a look. I dug in deep. I went to CBAs last year I went into CBAs to see last year. Okay, that's better English. Okay, I'm learning. Just come down now. Brett Daniels, CBAs. He had two big, 33-20. Then that 26, that's against Brisbane in the finals. Okay, so let's have a look at these big ones, the CBAs, and what he actually scored. Let's go 17% and above. Okay, let's see his average when he goes 17% and above for Supercoach. Okay, now what does Brett Daniels do? Because we know he's a half forward. Okay, now half forwards can be very unpredictable, as we saw with Shai Bolton. Now, Brett Daniels, when he had that 26% CBA, only scored 80, so that's one of them. All right, that's one. When he had 20%, he scored a 93. When he had 33% CBAs, only scored an 86. So it's not like he's scoring a lot on the CBAs. He had 21%, scored 63. 17% scored 66, okay? And now he had 44% CBAs, scored 65. Okay, so with 6 games going above 17% CBAs, he's only averaging 75. Okay, so the CBAs isn't the answer for him, okay, unfortunately. So when he scored that 195, okay, he had 29 touches. Now, take a look. There's not many games he has 29 touches. He had another 29 touches this game. He scored a 125. So he needs to score. He needs to have a 25 plus touches, okay? This game, 27 touches, 105. So, and there's not many games where he has 25 plus touches, okay? It's very rare, okay? 11. Like, he had 29, they followed up with an 11. So then he had 19. Even with 19, he had 80 points. So with Brett Daniels, okay, without even going to any more stats and not even looking at his heat maps, because I'm not interested. Okay, he's a half forward. Okay, now and when he's in the midfield, he doesn't do much. So it's a pass. And the problem with Brett Daniels is this: he's 485k. Okay, now mind you, Philippu's injured. Okay, now we can't get Philippu. You can get the Horny Man for an extra 50k, okay, and you can get the Horny Man. I mean, what do you want, Daniels at 485k? Now, Brett Daniels at 485k, and let me just show you something else. Now, let's go over here. Now, 485k, he started last year at 419k. He dropped to 390k, okay? He only went up in the last game because he scored that 195, okay? Brett Daniels is not worth that price, okay? Now, you can pick him up anytime you want. You can watch him all year. You can get him at 390k, even lower maybe. So, I would say he's a pass. Now, we go to Jordan Ridley. Now, Jordan Ridley has never averaged 110, okay? So, that's a problem. Okay, now, he's averaged a 101. He's averaged a 98, 91, so 94. And take note, that 2020 game is a full season, all right? 2021 and 2022, close to full seasons, all right? 2023, not far away from a full season, okay, but still missed a bit, okay? Now, 2024, not even half a season, okay? Now, as you can see, then again, it was a start that he missed him on, okay? But when he came back, what did he do? Okay, take out the 33. Okay, let's work this out now. Now, before I even go and calculate that average without that injured game of 33, just have a look at his kickings. Okay, last year. Okay, where is he? He didn't play the first half of the year. So Ridley, once he came back, okay, McGrath had 5. Ridley was second with 3. McGrath had 2. Ridley was second with 2. Ridley's second there again. Ridley's second. Ridley's first. Okay, now Ridley's gone to the top. And then now Ridley's fourth. Okay, so they can't make up their minds. Okay, now, put it this way. There's usually 3 or 4 of them, sometimes up to 5 at Essendon taking a kick in. So Ridley hasn't got all the kick-ins, okay? He has a few of them. What Ridley does have is his intercept marking, okay? That's his powers. Intercept marking, switch of play. That's when Ridley comes in. Now, let's take a look at Ridley, all right? Let's go in there. Let's go to his Supercoach profile after we close the ads, okay? Now, Ridley, let's calculate his average, okay, last year. So we're going to take out the 30. We're going to take out this score of 33 because only didn't play much. 42% time on ground. Let's work out all the rest. What did he actually average, including a game of 63? All right, and that's pretty much it. So he's averaged 111, and that's good enough, okay, to be a top 6. Okay, that's a good average. So with 8 games played, 91% time on ground, so he has a lot of time on ground, okay, and that's really good as well. And take note, is always in the back pocket there, okay. Now, let's take a look at some heat maps. Now, this game of 162, all right, he had 24 kicks and 7 handballs. There's a game here of 127, he had 23 kicks and 6 handballs. Now, take note, kick-to-handball ratio is quite high. It's above 2, okay, so double, okay. Now, on average, he has 22. He usually goes at 20 plus touches, and that's not bad. Okay, now this game here, he had 25 touches and scored 84. Now, what happened this game? Let's have a look. Marks. Where's his marks? Okay, maybe that game he didn't have any marks. He had 7. Actually, the game here where he scored 63 against Geelong, and he took 3 marks. So marks is a big part of his game, as you can see. 15, 10, 6, 12. Tackles are irrelevant for him. Okay, so we need marks from him, and we need kicks. That's his scoring points. Okay, so if and Essendon play a lot of games undercover, so that's a good thing. He can take a lot of marks. However, when Essendon play in the rain, okay, we're going to find that our boy is not going to score much. Now, that big score of 162, okay, what did he do? Let's have a look. Everything is in defence, okay, that's where he plays, okay. Now, sometimes he goes for a dash, but everything is in defence. The only problem with Ridley are the calves, okay. He has a lot of injuries with the calves, so everything's in defence. Even if you go back to last year, let's go back to 2021, even the year before last year. 27 touches, 105. That's a bad score. It was a good score, but not for 27 touches. 21 touches, 84. So he was playing centre half back then. When he moves to the back pocket, he does better for some reason. 23 touches. I mean, his role hasn't changed. It's always the same thing, okay? So it's always the same role with Ridley. Now, we go to Jordan Ridley's price. Now, he's priced at $552K. He's owned by 1%. Okay, 1% ownership. Okay, there's nothing. No one owns him. Massive pod, okay? No one will have him. If we go to Houston, owned by 12%. Okay, so there's a bit more ownership. Now, Zorko is 3%, I think, or 1%. Well, how many is Zorko's 2% owned? Okay, Wanganeen Milera. I'm just going for the pods here now. Nick Martin, the Spud, is at 3% ownership. Okay, and Wanganeen Milera. How many ownership does he have? 4%. So these are all pods, except for Houston, who's got a few more owners. Now, McGovern, what's he at? The governor, he's at 1% as well. So these are all low ownership plays, except for Houston, but I put him there for a reason. Now, what you can do with Ridley is as an option now, because Ridley, he's a risk, injury risk. But now, what happens if this happens now? Okay, let's go to back over here. What happens if Ridley? Let's take out these two scores. All right. What happens if Ridley scores a 162, 111, 112? Then there's a 129 and a 127 and a 102. Forget about these. What happens if Ridley starts like this? Only 1% own him, so it's not, you're going to say it's not going to hurt. But what if you were that 1% that own him? You're going to say, wow, I'm off to a flyer. So Ridley does give you reward, okay, but it comes with risk. The risk is all this, the injuries, okay? That's the risk. It's the calves. Now, let's say you took the risk with Ridley, because if you're going to start a player that has injury risk, like I did with Yo last year, it's okay, you can trade him out. But it's very hard to trade in a player that's got injury risk, like Ridley. If he's done all this, let's say 6 big scores, forget about these two, 6 big scores, okay? Then the 7th game, as you saw here, he got injured. Okay, now you can't, what are you going to do? You just traded him in and scored a 33, going to get very upset. You ain't coming down. So it's better to start a player in case he doesn't get injured than just waste the one trade, then bring in a player who may get injured, and it's going to cost you 2 trades. Now, what you can do, okay, if you start with Ridley, okay, and you've taken the risk, you started with Ridley, and he's looking the goods, okay, you're very happy. Now, then you just stay with him, stick with him, okay. Now, here's the round 4 bye. What happens if you watch him and he scores you, let's just say 100. Okay, 100 is good, okay, but it's not top 10 or top 6. You need 110, okay. So if Ridley's scoring you, let's say 90, 105, 100, it's okay. But what happens if you see Houston in the first 3 rounds or first 2 rounds scoring 120, 130? Okay, first 2 rounds, he's gone nuts. Then, because in round 0, Houston doesn't play. Okay, he plays round 1 and 2, then has the bye in round 3. So Houston's price won't be changed up until round 4. Ridley has the bye in round 4. So you can do the switch from Ridley to Houston without losing any cash. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. Just calm it down. Now, for the final verdict. Okay, now, value-wise, does he offer value? Well, he's 560k, so there's maybe you can say yes, okay? Maybe you can say possibly 20 to 30k worth of value. Okay, there's not much. Okay, so you could almost say no. Okay, so it's that close. So value-wise, there's something there, but it's nothing. Okay, so I would almost cross that off. Okay, and just say no. Okay, so there's no value. Okay, with our boy here Ridley. So cash-wise, not much. Okay, you're not gonna make much on him. Okay, but we're not here to make much cash. We're here for him to be a keeper. Okay, so not much. Okay, if I can find the U. Okay, there it is. Now, points-wise, what are we expecting from him? Realistically, I think a 105. Okay, that's what I think. However, okay, he can go to 110, maybe. Okay, 110 maybe. But I realistically see a 105 coming out of him. Now, keeper, at 105, it's a no. At 110, it's a yes. So it's in between there. Okay, so maybe. Okay, we're going to write here maybe. Okay, we're not sure. Decision. That's a tough one. I'm going to say it depends on structure. okay, and get rid of the O to a P. Okay, now depends on your structure. Okay, depends where your cash is allocated and if you need defenders. So must have no notes. Okay, that's an old note. Okay, high risk, and then you could put next to it risk versus reward. Then you put next to it round 4 buy can swap with Houston. Okay, it doesn't have to be Houston, it could be anyone. Okay, but I'm just using Houston as an example. Can swap with Houston after his buy. Okay, so there's some notes there that you can take note of. Now, one small detail that I want to share with you in regards to Ridley and his upside, okay, because there is upside, okay. Now, because what we saw last year, all right, was the kicking numbers weren't big, all right. They were decent, but not huge. Now, if he can turn these 4 or 5 kick-ins into, let's say, 7 or 8 kick-ins a game, then you're looking at a bonus of 16 points or 12 points, and even an extra 10 points towards his average makes a huge difference. Okay, it turns a 100 to a 110. So, if you see in the preseason that Ridley's taken the majority of the kick-ins, then that could be the sign that Ridley could be the one. Okay, so that's the key. The kick-ins is his key, because if you go to players, other teams that are defenders that are going nuts, and you see the kick-ins, let's say Lockie Whitfield, he's got the key hold on them. Okay, you go to Brisbane Lions, okay, and you see at the kick-ins, it's Zorko, and he takes a chunk of them, and a lot of his points come from these kick-ins, okay. And if you go to you go to North Melbourne, okay, and you see a lot of their defenders, they get a chunk of the kick-ins. Like McKercher was taking 11, 13. He was going nuts. So that's where a lot of the points come from. And then if you go to players, teams such as Port Adelaide, okay, and you go to Dan Houston, he wasn't taking it. Well, he was taking a fair chunk, but he was sharing it a lot. Now, what happens if Dan Houston, when he goes to Collingwood, all right, if he goes to Collingwood, for example, he's gone to Collingwood, okay, what happens at Collingwood, I should say, is that Jeremy Howe took a lot of the kick-ins. You can see here, 9. And also Darcy Moore took a lot of the kick-ins. They were the main 2. What happens at Collingwood if these two sort of dissolve a little bit and we see Houston taking these kick-ins? Houston's average, because Houston was only going... we're going to discuss Houston anyway, all right? But I'm just sharing this now. What kick-ins can do for a player. Even though Houston was going at 5.2s, roughly around about 4, averages around about 4. He had some 8s, but a lot of 1s and 2s. The majority was Farrell. But all you need is to see is this boy, Ridley. Let's go to previous years, 2023. How many... See, it's never been Ridley, the main man. He's always shared it, okay? He's hardly ever gone above 3 or 2. You just need to see Ridley take the majority, and then it'll be a massive difference. Anyway, that's all for today. Thank you for joining, and remember one thing. It's nice to be important, but it's important to be nice. Ciao for now.
That's all, folks.